Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Banas, and today I'm going to answer a question I get asked all the time, numerous times a day, in fact, and that's what types of foods should I be eating? What type of food should I be eating to lose weight, to increase my energy, to improve my sports performance, my sexual health? Um, but before I get into that, I always like starting these presentations off with a picture of me. This is me when I weighed 270 pounds, and this is me at 205 pounds. I personally went from a 270-pound fat man to a 205-pound, 8-time Ironman triathlete. So I like people to know where I'm coming from, and I'm just not talking the talk, but I'm more walking the walk. And I've been there, and I personally lost a ton of weight myself, and had helped a lot of people lose weight. So I just wanted you to know a little back about me, where I'm coming from. So, I mean, are you looking to get more in life? Are you frustrated and confused about the fad diets and gimmick supplements? Let's start with some basic nutrition. So, bottom line, the traditional food pyramid is wrong. This is our traditional food pyramid, what tells us we should be eating plenty of grains, breads, pastas, and carbohydrates. And it tells us we should be eating very little fats. And this food pyramid is probably the reason why you are overweight in the first place, or why you lack energy. Personally, way emphasis on the carbohydrates. And I'm going to a note here. You're not going to have to write this stuff down. I'm going to include a link at the end of this presentation and in the show notes that will link you to a website where you could just download all this information, so you'll have a complete list of what foods to eat, what foods to avoid, and what foods to eat in moderation. So again, our traditional food pyramid basically wrong. Um, Healthy fats are good for us. Okay, we've always been told to avoid fats. The problem is no one's really goes into real detail about what are actually healthy fats and what fats you should avoid. So the traditional food pyramid says avoid all fats. Well, in the food list I'm going to give you real detail on what fats you should be eating and what fats you should be avoiding. But we are actually going to probably increase some of the fats that you're going to eat in. And you'll really like this nutritional plan, because you could eat a lot of good, healthy foods. The low fat is a misconception. You really want to actually probably increase some of your fats. But again, those have to be the good fats. And we'll give you the list of those. Dietary fats have been shown to basically increase weight loss, reduce heart disease, and lower blood sugar. Fats are related in numerous processes of your hormones. The key is to know what fats you should be eating. So a couple more problems with the food pyramid. Dairy is way overemphasized. And like I mentioned, there's really no differentiation between good proteins, good carbs, good fats, bad fats. They just say eat very little fats, eat proteins, eat plenty of carbs. So in the food pyramid we're going to give you detailed information on which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones. Another problem is fruits are very overemphasized. Now the fruits are healthy, but the problem is there's a lot of sugars in fruits. The 2 to 4 servings of fruits is a great way to send your blood sugar through the roof. So now I got you real confused. Okay, don't worry. Like I mentioned, we have a link at the bottom of the podcast here that will give you a link where you could download all the detailed information. So, what to eat, what to avoid, and what to eat in moderation. First of all, we want to eat about 3 to 5 servings of healthy fats. And here are the healthy fats. In the food pyramid that you can download from my website, I give you the foods to eat in moderation, and foods to avoid. But in this presentation, I just wanted to give you a brief outline of the foods that you could be eating. And we want to start out with 2 to 3 servings of the healthy fats. And that would be like olive oil, avocados, olives, free-range eggs with the yolk, sardines. So I'm going to go into a little bit more of the proteins now. The proteins ideally what I'd eat is, like I mentioned, free-range eggs, grass-fed beef, bison, sardines, salmon. Okay. Non-vegetable carbohydrates are like wild rice, brown rice, 1 to 2 servings of fruits listed here. Okay, but how many of these carbohydrates, proteins, and fats should you be eating? How much protein? Well, basically, we want about 0.5 grams per pounds of your body weight in protein spread out 3 meals today. So basically, an example, if you weigh about 180 pounds, okay, you want about half your weight in grams of protein spread out throughout the day. How much carbohydrates? And this is a key. You really want to limit your body to having about 100 grams of carbohydrates a day. A key here is, though, if you are going to eat some of the higher fats, the healthy fats like I mentioned, we really need to make sure we're following that carbohydrate limit. So you can't eat all these fats and have high amounts of carbohydrates. Now, I know a lot of people think this 100 grams of carbohydrates a day is low, but that's where you need to be. You really don't need all these carbohydrates every day to maintain energy or even to exercise. Okay, so now I just want to give you a brief information about what foods to eat. If you go to my website, banasportstherapy.com, go ahead and download the food list. A couple things: take action for your health. You follow this food list, you're going to lose weight, you're going to improve your sexual health, you're going to improve your sports performance. Are you ready for a new body, a new life? Remember, anything is possible. Just take action.